There are moments in your life where the weight inside you has no name. You are not crying out loud. You are not texting a friend. You are not even sure what to call it. You just sit there, breathing shallow, heart heavy, world quiet, and somehow your pet knows. They don't need you to explain. They don't wait for permission. They simply show up. Animals live in a world without language as we know it. They don't parse sentences or analyze tone for hidden meaning, but they read something far more ancient and honest. Your energy, the way your shoulders drop, the quickness of your breath, the scent your body releases when fear or grief floods your system. Science tells us pets like cats and dogs are exquisitely tuned to these signals. Changes in cortisol, the stress hormone, shifts in pheromones, even tiny fluctuations in your heart rate or body temperature. They don't hear, "I'm fine." They feel the truth your body can't hide, and that truth calls them closer. Let me take you back to one of the hardest nights of my life. My little boy, barely old enough to understand danger, had a severe head injury. He had to be life-flighted to a children's hospital miles away. The helicopter blades faded into the distance, and then silence. My husband and I drove home in the dark, numb, shattered. We walked through the door, collapsed on the couch, and the tears came. Raw, uncontrollable sobs, holding each other like we were drowning, trying to make sense of something that felt impossible. And then my cat, who usually kept his distance unless food was involved, walked slowly into the room. He didn't meow. He didn't demand attention. He just approached. He stood up on his back legs like a little person, placed one soft paw on my husband's knee and the other on mine. He stayed like that, perfectly still, for what felt like forever. No sound, no fuss, just steady, warm presence. In that moment, the world narrowed to 3 heartbeats in a quiet room, and somehow the unbearable felt a fraction less alone. This is what sets animals apart from even our closest humans sometimes. People want to help, so they talk, they advise, they say, "It'll be okay," or "You need to snap out of it." They mean well, but words can feel like pressure when your nervous system is screaming. Animals don't do that. They don't diagnose. They don't lecture. They don't need you to be strong. They offer the one thing your overwhelmed body craves most: co-regulation. They sit in your distress with you, mirroring calm, slowing your racing pulse just by being near. Research shows pets can actually help lower cortisol levels and increase oxytocin, the bonding hormone, through simple proximity and touch. They don't fix the problem. They remind you the problem doesn't have to be faced alone. Another time, after major back surgery, I was determined to wean off pain meds quickly. Too quickly. That night, withdrawal hit hard. I started hallucinating, shadows moving, walls breathing. Panic rose. I felt completely out of control, like I was losing myself. I curled up in bed, shaking, whispering, "I'm not okay. I'm not okay." Then my little cat jumped up quietly. He didn't paw at me or meow for attention. He just pressed his small, warm body against my side, then gently laid one paw across my hand like an anchor. I focused on that steady pressure, the soft rise and fall of his breathing, and eventually the hallucinations faded. I fell asleep with his paw still there. He stayed all night. So why do they do this? It's not magic. It's biology honed by thousands of years of living alongside us. Pets detect emotional shifts through multiple channels. One is scent. When you're stressed or afraid, your body releases different volatile compounds and hormones like cortisol. Studies show cats and dogs can smell these changes, even subtle ones, and respond. Cats, for example, use their right nostril more for intensive negative emotions like fear, linking directly to brain areas that process arousal. Visual and auditory cues. They read facial expressions, body posture, and vocal tone. Research, like cross-model studies, shows dogs look longer when human faces and voices match in emotion. Happy with happy, angry with angry. Cats show similar sensitivity, adjusting behavior based on our cues. Physiological signals. They sense elevated heart rate, shallow breathing, or tension through proximity. They don't understand your story. "My child was hurt," or "surgery recovery went wrong." They understand your state, distress, vulnerability, and need for safety. And because you are their person, the source of food, shelter, love, they move toward that distress instead of away. It's empathy in action, not pity, but attuned care. What they offer is rare, unconditional presence. No pressure to perform. No expectation to get over it. No judgment if you fall apart. No need to explain why you're broken today. Just, I'm here. You're safe with me. When your mind spins with worst case scenarios, your body doesn't need logic. It needs to feel regulated, held, seen without words. Pets give that instinctively. With people, even those who love us, we often feel we have to edit ourselves. We worry, will they think I'm too much? Do I have to be strong for them? Animals bypass all of that. They don't require you to be okay first. They don't pull away if you are messy. They meet you in the raw, unfiltered moment, exactly as you are. That lack of demand creates a safety humans sometimes struggle to match. Because we are human too, with our own fears and needs. Pets, they just love fully, without agenda. Here's what I've come to believe. Sometimes the safest place on earth isn't a room or a person or a place. It's with a being who doesn't need you to explain yourself, who doesn't need words to love you, who feels your pain and chooses to stay. In our hardest moments, they remind us we are worthy of love, even when we can't feel it ourselves. If you've ever had a pet walk into your darkness, put a paw on you, curl up close when no one else knew, you're not imagining it. You were seen. You were felt. You were held without a single word. That bond is real. Science backs it. Your heart knows it. Healing doesn't always arrive through advice or solutions or someone telling you what comes next. Sometimes it arrives in quiet footsteps, in a warm body pressed close, in eyes that say without speaking, I see you and I'm staying. You are not alone, and your pet has always known that. Thank you for letting me share these pieces of my heart, and of course my cat's. If this resonates, give your pet an extra scratch tonight. They've earned it.